So when a tree dies, most of the nutrients has to release back to the soil to keep the forest going, right? But who breaks down all these things? Wood is very rigid. It's these Saproxylic insects that are doing the job.
Welcome to another episode of Science and Research in Singapore. Today's guest is a really good friend who has saved my life many times using his knowledge on insects. Welcome our entomologist, Calvin. So can you explain to me and the audience why is it so important to study saproxylic insects?
If you imagine a tree, actually most of the part of a tree is actually the woody part, and a lot of nutrients is actually locked up there. So when a tree dies, most of the nutrients has to release back to the soil to keep the forest going, right? But who breaks down all these things? Wood is very rigid. It's these Saproxylic insects that are doing the job. So apart from just chewing this wood into tiny particles, quite a lot of these Saproxylic insects also bring in their symbiotic fungi or microbial community to chemically break down the wood into the tiny particle that is absorbable by other organisms in the ecosystem. We have insects that actually feeds on the deadwood, the wood borers, insects that feeds on the fungi growth out of the wood, which are the fungophitous, and also the predators that feeds on the stuff that are living in the deadwood.
Do these insects spend their entire lives just breaking down wood?
So actually no. Quite a lot of Saproxylic insects will only spend part of their life in the deadwood, and most of the time they do other things. So let's say for this longhorn beetle, during the larval stage, they remain in the wood to feed on the wood. But when they become an adult, quite a lot of them will become floral visitors. They go to the flowers and pollinate the flowers. And these plants will produce food to nourish indigenous people as well as a lot of mammals living in the tropical Southeast Asian forests.
What is the one thing that you wish the audience knew about insects?
So quite a lot of city dwellers, including a lot of Singaporeans, would think insect or nature in general is like the opposite thing of development. But actually, most of these insects are the one that is secretly doing the work behind the scene that is keeping the forest going and keeping us alive on this earth as a species.